Hello, everyone, and welcome to another meeting of the Mad Hares. We are continuing our discussion of Death at Bishop's Keep. I am joined by Concert Cruiser,
Good evening.
Grumpy Cobalt,
Hello.
and Rusty Helm.
Hey y'all.
Welcome to our lurkers, both in call and on the recorded version. Where we last left off in I'm going to be in chat due to personal reasons. Perfectly fine. Um, where we last left off, in here, Aunt Sabrina finally has grown a backbone and is going to be taking back the reins of the house from her tyrant of a sister. Who would like to start?
I started
Oh
last
my gosh, so much happened in this section.
So much did happen, and Grumpy is ecstatic because now she can be like, I told you so, but we'll get there. We will get there.
I can talk now.
Yay!
Okay. So, chapter 35 is where we're picking back up. Mrs. Pratt, aka the cook, is shocked to see Aunt Sabrina downstairs because no one's seen her down there since forever. Because she basically let the Wicked Witch of the West be in charge of the house and terrorizing the staff. And it's might be a little bit too late on her part to finally take back the reins, so to speak.
Yeah, uh it might take a little bit more than an apology if there is anything that can amend this.
Mm-hmm.
If there could be anything that could amend this.
Yeah. Well, like, the younger servants are like, okay, we're all kind of cool because we're going to be getting back, like, I can't get over the fact that Aunt Jagger boarded up the fireplace down in the servants' areas because I'm just like, that's just cruel.
I mean, it kind
Very
of
much
reminds
so.
me of Scrooge, because you remember Scrooge barely had a fire in the deep of winter in London.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it reminds me of.
But
The
I,
only thing
pers-
the only thing with Scrooge is that that was his personal preference, and it's like I'm trying to remember his work environment in his areas. Like I know that he worked his team hard, but it's like
it's like, he basically kept, like, here's the thing about Scrooge. I, Scrooge, suffered in misery along with his, employees because his workspace was also cold, his house was cold, and he, it's like, basically he was the epitome of misery loves company. Whereas Aunt Jagger is a blatant hypocrite because she's living in the lap of luxury and is like begrudging her employees heat in
Hmm.
London during the winter.
yeah. It's like I think Scrooge suffered like I'm trying to think of the term. It's like a miser complex. Like he was unhealthily cheap,
He took
like toward
frugal
himself.
and made it a toxic character trait.
Yeah, because I remember in like the Muppets version, it was like one phrase they used was Scrooge liked the dark because dark was cheap
Mm-hmm.
or something like that.
Yeah. But but as I said, the younger servants were kind of like, okay, this is kind of cool. I'm looking forward to the mean lady not being in charge of it anymore and the nicer one kind of taking the reins back. They're like, okay, great. Whereas Mud and Pratt were Mud was a little bit wary, especially seeing fact Aunt Sabrina was going to be wanting to look at the ledgers and the books for the house because I'm getting a very strong suspicion that Jagger was mishandling funds. to a very extreme degree, at least the way that Mud was apprehensive about showing those records to Aunt Sabrina. And Pratt, I think she has had so much misery and she has lost family to the actions of this family that she's not likely to forgive easy, if at all.
Yeah, no, I'm trying. I'm trying to remember the exact relation between Pratt and Jenny.
I think she was her aunt.
Her aunt.
Yeah.
Okay. Which I mean, the way how Pratt is acting is like you swear up and down Jenny was her daughter. Which I mean, they very well may have they may very well may have had that kind of relationship.
I mean, considering her mother was not around just because, she sent her to work, which was very common in this time period. Almost one thing that was interesting was a historian who specializes in like the woman's like part of the world, so the kitchen, but also service. And she says almost every single person in England, you go back in their history, there is a domestic servant somewhere in their ancestry. It was, such a huge part of a girl's life is to be in domestic servant service. So
It's kind of like what we would consider being like your first fast food job nowadays.
that's a good way to look
Yeah,
at it.
like
It was
yeah, like
a everyone was a maid at some point in their life if you were of a certain social class.
It was
yeah,
easy,
either
it
fast.
was easy money.
Yeah. It's like
Yeah,
it was more likely it was a more steady source of income than say working the farm or working a shop or something else. How do you think Ginny would have fared if her mother didn't send her away? She probably wouldn't have been dead, first and foremost. She probably also wouldn't have been knocked up.
That is
yeah,
true, but poor family, her family was poor, and that was again one of the ways for the family to make money because you have to remember during this time period,
Mm-hmm.
her family was probably most likely like a farmer's family, and farmers were doing very poorly in this time period because of American grain flooding the market and thus making the price of farm of grain plummeted. And so it made a lot of farmers destitute. And so her mother probably literally could not afford to keep her daughter in the house.
Very true. And wasn't also, oh, which one was it? It was Nettie, I think, was actually Ginny's younger sister.
I believe so, yes.
Yes. So, like, there was more children that had to be taken care of, and as soon as Nettie hit, like, the workable age, she also went out to help gather funds to help support the family.
Yeah, and it was either a domestic service, or for children specifically, it was either being in domestic service or it was being in the factories.
Mm-hmm.
So, which one would you prefer? They're both pretty. One could be okay. The domestic service depends which family you get versus being in a mill dealing with
Mm-hmm.
cotton with the cotton machines or the pottery or yeah, there's some pretty awful places that children can end up. So
Yeah, it's like if you ended up working in a factory, there's a good chance, especially if you were very small, there's a chance that you could have easily gotten crushed or sucked up into some machinery because they would send smaller children up under like those moving machinery to get parts unstuck, fix things, clear clogs. Yeah, it's like it was a very high source of yeah. It was a very dangerous job that is a reason why we have child labor laws today.
pretty much.
Pretty
yeah.
much.
So I do like how in this instance, at when they're sitting at the table, Mud and the cook are kind of they're foils of each other. They're kind of two sides of the same coin. One is kind of holding on to the past and is bitter and angry, seething with hatred. And the other one's like, it's in the past. we
Mm-hmm.
eventually need to move on. And so it's kind of like you're seeing, two sides. It's kind of a not a big battleground, but kind of like, which one's going to win out at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's like they basically have the two sides of a how you can react to someone wronging you. Mud's more of he actually uh said I'm ready to let bygones be bygones, while Mrs. Pratt is they get what they get. And
Yeah.
later on I have suspicions of what they got.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I got my suspicions too on that.
That we do. Okay. Moving on to chapter 36. Kate, who had gone down with Aunt Sabrina when she was basically, I guess, addressing the troops, uh, was kind of watching all the servants and trying to get the lay of the land.
Yeah, not
Uh,
incredibly much happened to this chapter. It was just kind of like a more of like of a showing of the reader or the state of mind that Kate was in at the moment.
yeah, it's a kind of a little thing. Paladin, Mrs. Pratt is not the head of house. Mrs. Pratt is the cook. Aunt Sabrina is the head of the house.
At this point.
Yes, currently, at this point in time in the narrative.
I did find it funny how Kate's imagination got away with her again with Mud and her suspicion that he might have been the one mishandling the finances.
Yeah, yeah, but I don't think she would have thought that her prim and proper, holier than thou aunt would be misusing funds or skimming some off the top. Goodness gracious, that couldn't happen, could it? That would make her a hypocrite. An even bigger one at that.
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay, chapter 37. Chapter 37. I was so ready for this.
I'm sure you
We
would.
finally get the sisters. We finally get the sisters fighting. Okay, so Aunt Jagger and Aunt Sabrina. Uh, what did Aunt Sabrina do? And
Wrenched
with
power back.
that she did. I'm just like, thank God you grew a backbone. Because we have to remember, Aunt Jagger was basically disinherited for marrying, I guess, below her status. She is living off of the generosity and good grace of her sister, and also a touch of blackmail.
Yeah. One thing real quick, one quip I would just want to say, what's funny is that Kay was pretty much shut out from this whole situation, and it's like, gee, it'd be so nice if we were a fly on the wall. Oh wait, we have reader privileges.
Oh my gosh. Okay, but like, Sabrina has all the power. Jaggard has a sliver of blackmail, which I think Aunt Sabrina finally figured out. Of if this gets out, I can just kick her out, and that is the one thing she is terrified of. So
Yep.
Aunt Sabrina finally figures out how to get her sister to shut up, but also it's hinted at that she might have done something not so uh correct, or what is the word I'm looking for here?
Kosher.
Kosher
Kosher.
Christian.
Kosher Christian. She might have done something a little naughty with the vicar. And how am I not surprised by that? They did seem rather chummy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a little bit.
Little bit, little bit, little bit. But that, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I need to hear more. And then the chapter ends. I'm just like, dang it.
I mean, it was getting right on the verge of straight up violence there toward the end. It's like Sabrina was like, if you don't leave now, I'm not guaranteed that I'm not 100% sure if I can control myself with this dagger in my hand that I am poised to strike at you.
Wasn't even a dagger. It was a letter opener shaped like a dagger. Which, if it's like a good letter opener, that might as well have just been a dagger. In all honesty,
Yeah. Yeah, it's like
a slightly blunted dagger.
those letter openers are they can be valid weapons.
That they are. Oh goodness gracious.
Yeah, chapter 37 was very tense.
Chapter 37 was peak drama. I wanted more of it.
I was
But
gonna
I
say,
had
if you love yourself some drama, this one's
oh,
fine.
how I do love my drama. I do love my drama so much.
Well, yeah, that's why we all became part of the Brony fandom.
Yeah.
I got into because I thought the horses were cute. The brony drama just kind of dragged me in a little bit further. That's why I hung out in Limbo so much. But
I just
yeah.
I just I just joined the Brony fandom because I like the pastel colored ponies and adventures.
Yeah, but
I could have done it without all the drama.
and it sucked a lot of people in.
That it did. Drama
Yeah.
in general tends to just suck people in. But yes. Let's see. Chapter 38. Earlier, the whole reason why they went down to the kitchen earlier was because they not only did they have to announce the downfall of Jagger, they also had to make sure that the cook could accommodate a guest for lunch. So we are now skipping a little bit forward in time where Eleanor and Kate are able to just have a little bit of a girls' chat. And that's basically what this was.
Kind of like, girls at a sleepover talking about boys. That's kind of what this was.
It basically was because you have to remember Eleanor is getting married. And Eleanor is right at that age. Eleanor, I think, was 18, correct?
Yeah, or close.
Actually, no, I think she was a little bit older because I think her younger sister is actually 18. So she's like maybe very,
No,
very early 20s.
no, in this chapter, they mentioned like because she was like, oh, Kate, you're like my older sister. And Kate was like, we're only like 5 or 6 months apart.
5 or 6 months? I thought that I read years. I might be wrong.
I might be wrong. I
Let me
thought I
check.
read months. Uh, where are you?
Although the difference in years was probably not much more than 5 or 6.
Years. Thank you.
Years. Okay.
Okay, and she's like, Kate is like 25. So,
So we'll
Eleanor
just Illinois
Ellie is like 20. But like, she's also going to be marrying a much older man. And she's a little concerned about the wedding night. So it was basically girls talk.
And like, what's it like? What should I do? And neither of them have participated in these events before, and so they're just kind of both together going, I don't know, but
Pretty.
and
Okay.
and um uh and Kate was like, when you do, or like at least with kissing, she's like, tell me what it's like. It's such a girl's talk.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was funny that Eleanor was basically like when she got the revelation that Kate didn't know anything more than she did. It's like, oh, I, I'm trying to remember how she worded it. It was basically like, I mean, I just thought that since you were American and Irish, it's like it's
It's
like,
like,
oh, gee, thanks.
no, no. But yeah. But I kind of liked it that Kate was just like, I could never. She's like, I could never do what Eleanor is doing, which is basically marrying, which is because she sees it as her duty, she's just like, I couldn't do that unless I'm marrying for love, which I can vibe with, because
Same
Kate,
here.
even though she is very stern and practical in her sense, at heart she is a romantic, and I'm just like, I need to get to book 3.
I know, same here.
It's
I need
hilarious.
I need to get to book 3 just because that is where Grumpy told us the confession was.
He 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 he. Don't skip book 2. It's good as well.
I won't. I won't. Any other comments before we press on?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Let's see.
29. This one,
39.
39.
39. My
39.
apologies. I can't read apparently. I can. We are doing a bit of a twirl around and checking out how the guys are doing. Bradford and Charles are are coming back from their respective destinations and heading toward Bishop's Keep for the pre-mentioned luncheon. Uh, Bradford, I know he's probably not in the best situation financially, but the man should have listened to his friend in like chapter 2
Yeah.
or in like chapter
I
5
agree.
whenever they showed up.
I agree.
It's like I can understand like hey, your main source of income farming is not working out, so it's like you need to find another another thing to invest in. Might should have looked into a little bit more about what he actually invested into.
Yeah. It's like I
Because
feel like go ahead.
I thought Charles's idea was really good, because again, because I that is also true. British beef was doing really, really well.
Mhm.
And so I think that would have, if you wanted quick money to help raise the funds of his family, that would have been, and then once he was stabilized, or at least a little more stable, then he could have gone into the vehicle aspect.
I
Yeah, because I
definitely
mean the
agree
vehicle.
because he suggested dairy, and I feel like because like they could import grains relatively easy in that time period, but transporting things that need to be preserved or kept cooler, like dairy and milk, that had to be produced locally, so that source wouldn't have been a uh, outsourced at that time period very easily.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I think Bradford got swindled by this guy who was trying to pass all of these uh, patents that he got a hold of for the automill, which is basically gridlocked at this time due to regulations on how fast cars can go, how many cars can be on the street, where the cars can actually go within town. Because gotta remember, a lot of these smaller communities, their road systems are not made for cars. It's like they had the problem of getting carriages stuck because they get stuck in ruts. But which
Yeah,
would
we
have
have a
been more
question which
profitable? Sorry.
well, but I mean, to that question, I mean, hindsight's 2020. Yes, cars would have been more profitable because we know where we're at today, but you have to remember that there's no roads,
Mm-hmm.
and you still have to deal with, carriages and wagons and whatnot, and also cars. They were basically tin cans held together with glue and wire. I mean, not necessarily, but they were barely holding together, and the technology was in its infancy and really needed to develop a couple more decades, I would say. And
Definitely agree
Yeah,
with
so,
that.
and
and
so in the short term, the family needed money now. And so dairy, I think, would have been a better, I mean, Bradford complained that it would just keep it, just bear the ship barely afloat. And it's like, well, that's what you need right now. Get your
It's like
ship
yeah.
afloat.
it's
And
like you
then
need to
you
get your books back in the black. They don't need to be red. Not cars between
exactly.
wheat and milk transportation. Okay, so during this time
Um,
period, wheat was being imported into Britain from other places due to like India and I think the U.S. even.
yeah.
But so those could be transported very easily. What they were trying to do is because Bradford's family owned land and they used to make their money through renting out said land and making profits off of what their tenants farmed and then sold. That's where they made their money. So their transportation is not really where they made their money. It was in the product. So if they could produce dairy or even like beef cows, it would have been better than trying to get into automotives, which would have been several decades before it became a profitable enterprise.
Mm.
Yeah, it's like Charles was even saying like it's not a bad it's not a bad long-term investment, but it's like you wouldn't be able you wouldn't see returns until well into the next century.
Yeah.
It's like your grandchildren might see the dividends from that
I
investment.
mean, I mean, opinions on electric cars aside, part of the problem with electric cars currently is that the infrastructure is just not quite there yet versus
Mm-hmm.
gas
Yeah.
powered. And so, yeah, maybe we might see more, sustainable, more green, long-lasting electric cars. But right now, we just don't have the grid for it. And that's kind of what they're running into is that they just don't have the infrastructure for cars just yet. And so, and yeah,
One
between, go ahead.
one quick thing about that, it was like when electric cars first started like being mainstream media and everything. Uh, it was like Elon Musk even stated that we still need gas-powered vehicles. Because I think at that point, that's like they were trying to push like the green movement was trying to push all electric vehicles uh, like 100% of the time, and Elon Musk was like, no, we're not there yet. We still need gas-powered vehicles. It's like,
Yeah.
it's like so it's like if even the main guy who was putting out these electric vehicles was saying like you need to slow down there a little bit, it's like you might want to listen.
Yeah. It's like I still don't think electric cars. It's like there's one thing electric cars could probably do that would make it a lot more sense to me is if they stuck like actual like solar power banks on like their roofs. And like I
Ooh,
know like that won't
That would
completely
be
negate charging personally, but it would help offset the dependence on the grid.
yeah. Oh Lord, and I remember hearing recently Jan Animation's story about like her experience with electric vehicles and yeah, no, I personally have no intention of ever owning one.
Mm.
It's
I'm
So
like
the thing
still for
with
one
myself.
so the thing, okay,
it's
now
like
back to the question Pathfinder has with what if you did wheat and then transition to milk and milk, or the thing is wheat had collapsed. It was not profitable whatsoever because it was the market was being flooded from with grain, corn, wheat, barley from across the pond, basically. Um, and so it was not profitable. So because
It's
like
like
as they meant in the book they mentioned that in that already there was cottages collapsing, farm barns collapsing because no one was there living there to take care of the property. So already there was where the book takes place, there were already people flooding this, leaving and flooding the cities to find work.
hmm and it's probably because of that collapse that there was such a boom in industry because there was a surplus of workers who can work in factories at this point in time in history.
Yeah.
Ye-
yeah.
So so in the end of the book, or not in the end of the book, near the end of the chapter, where um, Bradford says that he needs 750,000 pounds
oh my
for
gosh.
this
Oh, that's
new.
all?
Yeah, I I researched how much that is how much that would be in today's dollars, not pounds, dollars. It was about $167 million in today.
Oh, that's all?
That's a lot
And
of
he
money.
was just casually asking his friend to put that much money in capital up.
I mean, there is a reason, but I won't say why, but there is a reason he's asking him.
But,
So,
like, we know
but
Charles is loaded. We know he's a man of leisure. I didn't know
he's
he had
really
that much leisure.
read book three.
Okay.
Um,
Read book two
so
first, barely.
yes, because it's sweet. It's so sweet. But anyway, um, so which Charles politely refuses to help with this venture, which I'm just like, good man, you are
Good man.
wise.
It's like he's smart. That's why he's not in a financial pit like his
Hmm.
friend. Although his friend's dad's spending is not helping in matters.
Yeah, great.
No.
He keeps on buying horses.
Thoroughbred horses.
Oh, good grief. Okay. Okay, so chapter 40. Uh, they have concluded their luncheon. All four of them are chilling at Bishop's Keep, and Miss Kate, in her notice everything because I'm a writer and I need to be able to pick up on details like this, is the only one who is aware that Charles somehow snuck in a camera.
A portable camera.
A detective's camera. Which, the fact is, about the size of one of our modern day almost digital cameras, is kind of fascinating to the other people at this event.
I loved it when Mud was tasked with taking the phone and he was like, oh, oh.
I just
Oh
had
my
the
gosh, that
most
was so sweet.
adorable picture in my head of him, like, carefully holding this thing, hoping not to break it. Because
As
he's
Kate
probably
says,
thinking.
acting,
Go ahead.
I mean, as Kate says, he was acting like he was holding one of the crowns,
Well,
like the
in
queen's
his
crowns.
defense, that probably that device right there probably cost more than his annual salary.
The poor man.
The poor man. And it was just casually handed to him. I'm just like, breathe, Mud, breathe.
The fact that he was like, Kate was like, he was like glad it was done, but also so proud that he took
Oh,
a photo. It's like, oh,
it's like, oh.
That he accomplished such a complicated task as pushing a button.
I know, a lever, pushing a lever.
He took a
Jokes.
picture. Mud's happy he took a picture.
I like Mud. He's adorable.
He is adorable.
I do too. Yeah, it's like like Kate uh reminisces like despite their first prickly interaction, it's like she's come to really like him, and so have I.
But yes. But Charles also mentioned that while that they were meandering around and he was he secretly took a few shots of like the group in candid talking and walking around. He also said that he spotted a young lad over at the back door talking to Mrs. Pratt, and Eleanor, I think, might have had Kate a little bit worried that she might have been having some similar tendencies to Aunt Jagger. And Aunt Jagger seems to look down upon those who are not of her social class, but still. Um, but Eleanor was disparaging because she basically views it. She has problems with social class issues. Whereas, and I felt like Charles' deflection of that and how he worded it, I think, was a very good way because he was just like, they're probably not all you think they are to be. They're probably just families who have been on a bad turn of luck because the economy's kind of crud for people who used to be farmers and now don't have a source of income anymore because they can't sell wheat and they can't sell wheat and y'all don't get money and all that kind of stuff. And I think he politely corrected her us. What is the word I'm looking for? Misconception? Yes, that is the word I'm looking for.
Maybe corrected, but also just kind of like had a different, like, hey, it could be this.
Yeah.
You know, kind of got her to look beyond her nose and kind of see the
Yes.
world around her.
Yeah.
Kind of gives Eleanor another perspective other than the little social group that she's probably grown up around.
Very true.
It's like
Hmm.
another perspective.
It's like I feel like Eleanor is having some excellent growth in character because she's still wanting to be friends with Kate even though that she learned that she's a secretary.
And likely
And
to die as an old maid.
oh yes. She and
Willingly.
Hmm.
willingly stays a spinster.
Hmm.
Oh my goodness. But yeah.
Yeah, it's like Eleanor, she's you can tell that she grew up around the upper uppity crust of society, but she is willing to mingle with the commoners, as it were, or at least
Mhm.
have a different. She's willing to have a different, see a different perspective.
Well, like there is a way how Kate mentioned it in an earlier chapter. She kind of thinks that Eleanor, because Kate is technically of a different social class, but it's still acceptable to hang out with her because she is related to her aunts and therefore have ties to some of the upper class. She feels like Eleanor can be a little more relaxed around her because she's not having to keep up that front that she has to with her higher society friends.
Yeah, it's like Kate meets that that very fine line between like uh acceptable to be associated with, but not having to keep up appearances.
Yeah, she's like outside the social group, but socially acceptable to hang out with.
I think
Yeah.
part of that is also Kate's attitude, how laid back and down to earth she is as well.
Oh yeah, Kate's
That,
like
that's also true.
Kate is like Eleanor's chill older sister.
Mm.
Okay, so the afternoon with her friends was lovely. Dinner that night with her aunts was a rather tense experience.
That's a nice way to put it.
And also Aunt Jagger is still being passive aggressive as all hell. Because when let's see, what was it exactly? A mushroom pudding was served. She basically, as soon as Aunt Sabrina was done with it, she basically took the rest of it for herself and left none for Kate. Which she was okay with. Because she was just like, I want this dinner over with and I want to get to my room because this is like the most tense situation I've been in and I want to leave.
Talk about how awkward. Oh my goodness.
I'm just like, I could not imagine just being stuck there and uh social decorum be damned. That is the most nothing's more awkward than forced social politeness because
Hmm.
everyone at that table does not want to be there, but society and manners dictate you are at the dinner table and you do not leave until this meal is over with. So that is
I'm thinking of
forced
I'm
proximity
thinking of
that no
typical
one wants.
I'm,
Hmm.
I'm thinking of typical Thanksgiving dinners, like the stereotypical Thanksgiving dinners with all the political drama and everything.
Oh my gosh, I'm so happy that mine is not like that anymore. Man, because I used to cause it. Oh, thank God I got red pilled.
Thank God for red pills.
Yay! All I can know is it got so much better once I actually grew some brain cells.
Those are nice to have, indeed.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Okay,
What?
and wrapping
What?
up chapter 41. Oh
Right.
my gosh.
Yep.
Cruiser, if you don't want spoilers, mute now.
Okay, muting.
Mhm.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
I can now say it. They're dead. They're both dead. Y'all were wrong the entire time. I can speak finally. They're dead.
Now it becomes a question of who done it.
Oh, I can't say
Oh
that
Because
yet either.
my gosh. Oh my gosh.
because I can very safely say that I don't think this was death of natural causes.
I'm willing to bet it was the mushrooms. And I'm willing to bet it was Pratt.
Oh, I'm not betting against that in one bit.
Okay.
So
It's like my own.
basically, it was at first Jaggers who was afflicted with, try not to get too TMI, but I think both ends were going off at the same time. And writhing in pain, sweat, very sweaty, clammy skin, yellow eyes, just, almost, I would say almost bellowing in pain. And the doctor was called, and, medicine in that time is not the best. But part of me is also believes that at this point it was too late. There was nothing that could be done, even if the doctor knew what was going on. And so I would say, when Jaggers went into a coma, still alive technically, then Aunt Sabrina came down with the exact same symptoms. And then
Like,
basically go ahead.
actually, the entire time that they were trying to deal with Aunt Jagger, it was discovered that Aunt Sabrina was also having this issue, but because everyone was upstairs dealing with her sister, they couldn't hear her trying to pull the bell that was ringing downstairs to call someone up to her for help.
Poor woman.
Yes.
Yeah.
They did eventually find her, so it's better than nothing.
They did find her, and she was able to tell Kate where her will's at.
Something I
But
was something I was curious about. Like, you think it was the mushroom pudding?
I think it was the mushroom
My
pudding.
my only thing is like, wasn't the mushroom pudding like at least not served, but like available for anyone, or was it? It's like
Okay, so
I'm trying to like pinpoint the situation there at
okay, so
the setting.
usually in Victorian households, the actual family of the house ate different menus to what the staff would eat. So puddings and other stuff that was being served on the main table, unless they're like excessive leftovers after like a major party, that was not what the servants would eat. And because only Aunt Sabrina and Aunt Jagger took part in the mushroom pudding, and Kate had none, and she's the only one without symptoms, that is why I think the cause is the mushrooms. Also, Pratt
Yeah,
was talking to someone who uh, scurried away pretty quickly after they saw Charles with a camera, and I would not be very shocked if Pratt was paying some uh, farmer's boy whose family is down on their luck a little bit of pocket change to go and forage deadly mushrooms out of the woods.
all right. That part I'm following. My only thing is like if Pratt made it specifically for Sabrina and Jaggers, I'm just trying to think like how she could have it to where it was just them and not also Kate, because unless she made just enough to where she figured that it would be just enough for those two, but
I
'cause-
think that Pratt was at a mental state of I want revenge on this family. She was willing to sacrifice Kate. Cuz
mm,
she had no love for Jagger. She particularly didn't care for Aunt Sabrina because Aunt Sabrina didn't do anything to help her niece. And
that
she
that I'm
might
following.
have thought that if Kate also was afflicted by what she was being served, to the point where she also passed, she would see that as like, I lost a niece, you lost a niece, we're square. That might have been her mindset. If she is the actual culprit of things.
Okay, because my only thing with that is that I kind of want to say that Pratt would have had at least a little bit of feelings for at least a little bit of what's the word, like she might have been fond of Kate, because like with how Kate was at least willing, even as an outsider, willing to help and listen to her. But I don't know. Like you said, it's like the way her mental state was. It's like I could definitely see that logic probably wasn't prevailing in that moment.
Yeah.
I'm mainly just trying to like get in the headspace of like and trying to visualize exactly what happened and how everything went down
I
in that kind of scenario.
Y'all are being good cop, bad cop.
kind of, yeah. It's like I think that my that's my stance right now. I think Pratt did it, and I think she was willing to basically just kill off the family that has caused her such grief and basically end the line. Because that's the entirety of that family line. It's like there's no one else.
Yeah, it's like Sabrina even told Kay, it's like you're the last didn't she say like you're the last Audley?
Yes.
Yes.
So yeah.
It's like, although, while she was in her feverish, kind of delirious, poisoned state, um, she seems to be going in and out. She might be hallucinating a little bit because when they found Aunt Sabrina in her bedroom and they would get back her into bed, she sees Kate and she calls her mother first. And then she starts jabbering on about her kid. And everyone's just like, WTF, she's never married, she doesn't have a kid, what is she talking about? And she calls out, what was the name? Jocelyn? Jocelyn?
Jocelyn?
Jocelyn. So, I think Aunt Sabrina and the vicar had a little bit of fun time and then there became another person. That is my theory. But who is
Yeah,
Jocelyn?
we
That is an
shall
excellent
see.
question.
We shall see indeed. But so so Aunt Sabrina, who basically has like not soon after they had found Aunt Sabrina and one of the maids had gone back to Aunt Jagger's room to get the medicine they had left with her so that they could treat Aunt Sabrina. Jagger is dead. Ding dong, the witch is dead.
Show witch. Wicked
Yeah.
witch.
So Aunt Jagger's dead. Aunt Sabrina hears that her sister is dead. She probably is going to be like, that's going to be me. I need to make sure Kate knows some things. It's like, my will is with the vicar. You need to go see him. And she's like, all of it's yours, Kate. I leave it all to you. Jocelyn has no need. So I'm thinking either Jocelyn was adopted by a well-to-do family, or I had the strange thought, and it might just be me, and I have just experienced two character deaths. Jocelyn might also be dead too. I don't know. So that is my thoughts on the matter. Anyone else?
I can't say anything.
I know you can't say anything. I know.
At least I can
I
say some
mean,
things. I can say some things at least.
I
Yay!
mean, yeah, it's like I'm just saying like it'd be kind of weird to like drop this new character in like as a bombshell just for them to end up being dead before we even have a chance to meet them. It's like that's just my thought about
Like,
that.
here's my thing. There are two types of characters in books. There are characters meant to be characters, and there's characters meant to be plot points. I have a feeling Jocelyn might be one of the latter.
Possibly. We'll see.
That's just my thought. But yes. Why is Jocelyn shaping up to be the final villain? I highly doubt that. I highly
What?
doubt that.
A
What the
little late,
twist?
maybe.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm leaning toward doubt. I don't know. I have been proven wrong greatly in some of my conclusions on things. But yes. Okay, I'm gonna tell Cruiser to unmute now.
All right.
Hopefully he's paying attention to his messages. Okay. Like, all I can say is I am so excited to finish this book.
Same.
Okay.
And that's why I'm going to increase my how many times I read a day.
Yes, please.
Okay, all right. I'm trying
Yeah.
to be I'm trying to be professional here, not being on the quips. But where I'm at right now, I was wondering why on earth would there be a peacock feather at a crime scene, or like because I remember with the where it was found, it was like found like the body was found at a construction site, right?
It was found
Archeo-
at...
Archaeological.
Archaeology, that's what it is. And I'm thinking like, why? Who the heck would have a peacock feather there? But then they said that they saw a few men with peacock feathers in their lapels. Like, oh, that's right. We're not dealing with modern times here.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you're going to take a stab into this book, you're going to have to remember like this is the Victorian era.
Yes,
So,
it is a historical fiction. It is a period piece.
And the other thing I thought was kind of peculiar was that one character who actually wanted to see a picture of the body. Now,
Okay.
granted, again, and because we know, again, I know we're talking about in the Victorian era, but still, as someone whose parents worked in law enforcement, you're usually not supposed to show pictures like that to the public. Or to anyone.
Well,
Well, in our
no,
defense, the guy who took the picture of the body wasn't law enforcement.
Okay, that's fine.
and also, photographs are very new in this time period. It's like it's still a very experimental. Most police forces don't even have photos. They don't even use photos as evidence. They're still, especially this police force that Charles is having to deal with, is strictly they want a confession. That is the
Mm-hmm.
only thing that they're looking for. They're not looking at fingerprints, they're not looking at photographs. They just want a confession.
So what would they do? Would they just sketch the, for lack of a better word, crime scene?
That's basically all they could do.
Sketch and
Pretty
tape.
much.
Sketch and tape.
And I mean, this police force is like they were very you remember they were very sloppy in their crime scene. It's like they didn't tape anything off. People were trampling over evidence. It's like
It's like
yeah,
the
it's like this
dig
is
site
not
restarted up the next day.
But the other thing I thought
yeah,
was
it's
kind
like
of the other thing, well, going back to the crime scene, the other thing I thought was kind of peculiar was the wagon wheel track or the wheel tracks, because again we're talking about Victorian era. This isn't modern wheels we're talking about here that has like little grooves in them. How many different kinds of uh, wheels could there possibly be to match this? I would think they look the same.
There was a break in the wheel that allowed Charles to identify it.
Oh,
a-
okay.
and also I'm trying to remember did Charles talk more about the wagon wheel by chapter 27 or was that a little later?
Let me
Because I
see.
remember he was talking to the I remember that he was talking to the chief um constable or whoever going over the different evidence that Charles had found through the photographs, and he was going into great detail about it.
It's like by 27, I think Charles had already found the chase with the broken wheel. And so he was now trying to hunt down the owner of the broken peacock feather.
Yeah, because the other major detail that Charles had found was that the width of the wheels was different than your regular coach. It's like I think the regular coach was like 6 feet wide, but this one was 5 foot.
Okay, that's a good point too. The fact that all coaches are not the same size.
Yeah, so it's like I mean, just that whole little spiel. It's like going over every single little detail. It's like it felt like I felt like I was listening to like a one of Sherlock Holmes like explanations on like how he discovered everything. It's like it was really interesting.
Mm-hmm. It's like I've said it
Yeah, it's
before, I'll
definitely.
say it again. Charles is very Sherlock Holmes coded.
Yes.
Well, either way, it's shaping up to be a good mystery. And as soon as this is done and I start heading to the gym, I will listen to it before I start my workout, and then after and before I go to bed.
It's like, okay, so I propose so that Cruiser can hopefully get caught up, that we take a break next week. So he'll have 2 weeks to get caught up, and then the rest of us, I suggest we read over the next 2 weeks up to chapter 49.
All right.
It's like, so
Yes,
chapters,
yes,
we'll be reading chapters 42 through 48, and Cruiser will be reading chapters 27 through 48.
yes.
But you have 2 weeks.
Countess. Yes.
You have 2 weeks.
This is one. This is one flower you don't want to pick.
But yeah, I mean, it's like I will also say it's like if you can find like just an hour just to chill, it's like you can get through a good chunk of this uh like I don't know. It's like I know you have a very busy schedule. I'm just saying like if you can ever find like either half an hour or an hour just like relax maybe. I don't know.
It's like,
Mm-hmm.
chill for like 20 minutes. It's like, this is a much easier read than, say, Tolkien was.
Okay.
Yes, very much so.
It's like
It's like I love Tolkien, but
5 pages of Death's Door we could read in 20 minutes. 5 pages of Tolkien took an hour.
Oh dear lord.
yes. And there was
And
still like how big was Tolkien? Like about 500 pages?
about, maybe less. Like, and like,
Yeah.
we're not exaggerating on the time it took to read that. Like, the audiobook for a book that is probably about slightly longer than this one, width-wise, was like, I want to say it was like maybe 20 hours.
Good.
Yeah, Tolkien is.
Whereas this one's probably about a 8-hour read, book cover to
Yeah,
cover.
I actually found a new YouTube audiobook that it was I think it did like the entire book and it was about 11 hours from cover to cover, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean this one was actually like 10 days ago was when it was uploaded.
Oh,
Oh,
really?
wow.
Is the audio quality better?
I have not checked it out. I'm still listening to the first guy,
Okay.
but
I might be able to find
let me
that, and it might actually be a better read. I'll check it out.
let me see. Death at what I found interesting is that when I type in Death of Bishop's Keep, yours is coming up like as one of the top results, and
Yay!
it's actually outperforming the guy that I'm listening to.
I'm sorry.
Oh, wait, I know the perfect time when I can get a lot of reading done. I actually have a show in Orlando in the next few days, and it's like a 2-hour drive.
Oh, good.
Perfect.
Great.
There we go.
Perfect.
Yeah, 2 hours there, 2 hours back. So we'll
Oh,
should
but
cover a lot of, should cover a lot of pages that way.
yeah. Oh, but the YouTube video that I was mentioning, it's called Great Cozy Mysteries. And yeah, the video is 11 hours and 41 minutes long.
But that is off topic. But anyone else have any comments, questions, or concerns concerning our reading assignment for this next little bit? Or anything that we have previously read?
I'm good.
Okay. Okay. So again, we're going to be taking a 2-week break this time, and we'll be back on. Where's my calendar? The 2nd of February, for to pick up where we have left off. Will be this will be the second to last section before we get to the climax. We shall see how everything goes though from there. Okay, and that'll be all for today. That'll be all for today, guys. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see y'all next time. Bye bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.